Welcome to another episode of At the Movies. We do not have Scott to introduce the podcast today, so you get stuck with me. I am one of your hosts, Melissa. Thank you all so much for listening in. Sorry, we've been on a little bit of a break, but we've been really busy planning this event called Cinema Week. You may have heard of it. So we are back now. We're going to talk about marketing for Cinema Week, but I have a special guest today. Andrew, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for being here. Andrew is a new addition to our team, and he is helping out with Cinema Week. So we, as part of his initiation, he's forced to be on the podcast. Welcome, Andrew.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very happy to be stuck with you one-on-one for a few minutes and chat about this.
I know. So everybody on the team, they're all doing important things. And so Andrew and I are running the podcast. I hope it's funny, or at least kind of fun.
We'll try.
I mean, I think we'll do a really good job, actually. So we like to usually start out, and Andrew does not like to be put on the spot, so I'm going to put him on the spot. No, but are you watching any good movies? Have you seen anything good? Have you been able to go to the theater? What's going on with you, Andrew?
I have not been to the theater yet in New York. I'm so excited. The one right here in Forest Hills just opened up. We also have a great little independent theater in Kew Gardens, which is opening. So I know there's a few documentaries coming out, which will be great. Coming from the cinema business and doing events, so many people are like, what movies have you seen? I watched all my movies on an airplane. So even though, we're promoting a 40-foot screen, I watched everything on a 4-inch screen, like, an elevator Captivate screen. But this weekend, I was just on a plane for the first time in about a year. I watched 2 movies coming and going. And
what did you watch?
I felt like a kid again. Bill and Ted Face the Music, the reboot.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Was it good? Was it funny?
It was so awful. I loved it. It's so, it just brings me back to being, in like 7th grade. You're like watching, Bogus and Cool and Radical, and they hammed it up. It was fun. That's
good. All right. And what was the other movie?
Coming home, more serious movie. I mean, everyone loves Michael B. Jordan. Just Mercy was excellent. I missed that in the theaters, and I was so excited to see that.
Were you fully like crying on the plane? Because I would have been a mess.
There are a few movies I have cried on a plane. Never watching a movie with animals in it.
Oh, I can't remember the title of the movie, which I think is really bad, but it was like, I was going on a holiday vacation. Normally I always work on a plane. Like, I'm the annoying person that is on my laptop from takeoff to touchdown. And this one trip, I was like, I'm just going to watch a movie. And unfortunately had lost a friend like a few weeks earlier, and then watched a movie. And I don't remember the title, but it was like about someone who loses a friend. And so I was like, I would have cried anyway, but I was like, literally like couldn't breathe. And I'm sure the person next to me was like, is this girl okay? I was just like hysterically crying. It was pretty embarrassing.
Get some drinks from the flight attendant, right?
Right. And be like, so sorry. I'm pretty sure I was also in a middle seat, which was like, everyone around me was probably like, what is wrong with her? But yeah,
I always love to see what everyone else is watching on a plane.
Yeah.
I never watch a TV show on a plane. I always watch a long movie. I don't want to watch a series, but just seeing, who's watching a comedy or a rom-com, it's really fascinating. And I think you can just kind of, in your mind, have a little backstory about who these passengers are and regarding the movie that they chose to watch for the 2-hour journey.
Yeah, I've also been like started watching a movie and couldn't get into it, and saw like somebody else was watching something that I wanted to watch, and literally like stalked what they were watching and then turned mine off and put that movie on my screen.
I love back in the day when everyone watched the same movie, when, it's almost like a tour bus and there's just, 3 or 4 screens on one side. That's probably the closest thing to going to a movie. Like all together, you're either all laughing together, all frightened together.
Yes.
But now everyone has a little custom experience.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that they would be like, tonight's feature on planes. They did that too. They showed a feature. Like,
yes.
I totally forgot about that. Oh my gosh. When it was just like one little TV too, you didn't have one in like the back of all the seats.
That's right.
Oh,
we've come a long way in flight.
We have come a long way, but it is as we always talk about on this show, we love watching things on the big screen, and it is a struggle to watch movies on that little screen. And I don't know about you, but like I always have like my headphones, like the volume isn't right on those TVs. Like either it's really, really loud or it's too quiet and I like can't hear what's going on.
Well, you get in the roar of the engines.
Well, that too.
And there's just too much white noise because not everyone is focusing to pay attention to it. And the movies are for the big screen. There's so many where I've watched on a plane and then I'll come home and say to friends, hey, let's watch this. And so, well, you saw it. And I said, well, I saw it tiny, you know?
Yeah, I saw it on like literally something smaller than an iPad. Yeah.
Well, Black Panther on a plane, came home, watched it, and I was like, this movie is so much better. And that was just on my TV screen at home. I can only imagine what that movie was like in the theaters.
I saw it a couple times in the theater and then also watched it on a plane, and it was not as good on the plane because it was just, the sound and everything is just so good. So that's so funny because we're talking about what we were watching. I've been very busy, so I haven't watched any movies this week, but last week I watched Sully, speaking of planes and New York.
Yes.
And gosh, I really like struggle watching that movie. I mean, it's amazing what he did and everything, but I'm like, I've flown out of LaGuardia so many times. Like I tried to think like how I would react in that situation. Like I was like, the first thing I thought was like, I'd be grabbing my laptop. Like, no, you wouldn't. You would let it go.
I just thought it'd be so cool to see Tom Hanks flying my plane.
Well, that too, of course. Be like, hey,
Tom Hanks saves
you. Not only that, or just like running through New York in the winter. I forgot that it was so cold when that happened.
It was, yeah. And friends of mine in the building, you're able to like, they just saw it going right down the Hudson. So
yeah, it's a great film. Great story. So yeah, well, good. Well, there's been a lot of industry news since we last recapped on the show. We're not going to go through it all because there is a million podcasts out there that have probably covered every piece of news. So we don't think we need to go into that, but some of the major kind of beats of things that are going on is yesterday, and you'll probably be listening to this podcast, in the next couple of days or weeks, but Discovery announced a $43 billion merger with AT&T's Warner Media. Wow.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's big news for the industry.
It's been a really crazy 2 years. That's all I can say. Like, I could speculate, would have this happened if COVID, I don't know if all of these things would have happened if COVID happened or didn't happen, or they would have taken longer to happen. But a lot of people are teaming up and partnering up and doing things that are definitely shaking up the industry.
Yeah, and we're going to have a lot more options on TV for all of our on-demand watching. But
but go to the movies.
People on their couches, and I think everyone's kind of over that.
It's time to ditch our couch.
Let's ditch it.
Ditch our couch. And then there was a great article that came out this week that gave a shout out to Cinema Week from the Seattle Times, and it was the best 21 top summer blockbusters. So we will link that in the show notes, but check it out. We appreciate them giving us a shout out for Cinema Week, which we're going to talk a little bit about, like marketing Cinema Week and hopefully giving you all some tips. If you're an exhibitor or if you're a moviegoer, you might be able to hear kind of behind the scenes of what's going to really happen Cinema Week. So yeah.
That was a great article, though. Just even there were so many movies that are coming out, I couldn't believe it.
21.
Yeah, we know all of the major ones. I mean, I can't wait for In the Heights.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited for In the Heights.
But as cheesy as it is, I love Dwayne Johnson. I mean, has he made a bad movie? Jungle Book. So a lot of it looks like
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. We already had Jungle Book. Sorry. Jungle. It looks like he filmed it at the same time as Jumanji, but it's okay.
I know, he's kind of wearing the same outfit. I know. What else? Actually, really quick, what else was on that? I want to see what else is on that list I was excited for.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be seen in the cinema. Go out and support your local cinema. They need your help more than ever right now. I mean, a lot of these are mom and pop businesses, and they've had a really, really hard 18 months. Like, it's been really hard for them. So go buy a popcorn, go buy a soda, go see a movie. And like I said, we'll link these 21 top titles in the show notes. But I think, it's time to get out there.
I can't wait to get back and review these movies when we.
Yes, I know. And talk about, oh my gosh, usually everyone on the show teases me because I watch I like typical blockbusters, and I don't know. Everybody else is more sophisticated than I am on the
Oh, we can all
podcast.
watch documentaries. There's a reason the Marvel movies keep coming out. People love them.
And I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for F9. I'm excited for In the Heights. I'm excited for Zola. That's coming out. Obviously, Black Widow will be huge over the 4th of July weekend. Space Jam's coming, like you said, Jungle Cruise, Suicide Squad, Free Guy. Free Guy looks fun.
Yeah, anything that Ryan Reynolds does
I love him.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. And then I'm really excited for Respect as well, with Jennifer Hudson playing Aretha Franklin. And I'm from Detroit. So like Aretha Franklin has a lot of just like, if you're from Detroit, she is she's an icon everywhere, but really like Detroit is just, we have so much love for her.
You have some hometown pride in Motor City.
We do. Yeah. And then the Beatles get back. So that'll be fun. I mean, it is just, honestly, I was looking at the release calendar yesterday and I was like, wow, that is a lot of movies. And with someone who's not industry, and they were like, that doesn't seem like that many. And I was like, no, that's a lot of movies.
Yeah, there's a big backlog and there's a big demand. People want to see this great content. And like you said, those little mom and pop theaters, they can't wait to book these movies and get people back in the seats to see it. It's a welcome home in the movie theaters.
Just absolutely cannot wait. And so that leads us into Cinema Week. So we announced Cinema Week here. We've been chatting about Cinema Week. Our team is working really, really hard on Cinema Week. And so today, part of our topic is we want to just give you some marketing ideas, tools, and tactics. We're hosting a roundtable meeting tomorrow, which we will publish the video as well too, where there'll be multiple different size of exhibitors on that call that everybody's just going to chime in. But a lot of times it's just hard to figure out what to do for marketing. And so for Cinema Week, really the main goal is just getting the word out that this is every week is the week to go to the movies, but this is a week where we're going to work together as an entire industry to promote movie going.
It's fantastic. First time ever.
Yeah.
It's the inaugural.
First time ever.
Mark your calendars, June 22nd.
Through the 27th. So it's a Tuesday through Sunday. And some people, this is some behind the scenes. Why did you have it start on Tuesday and not Monday? We potentially could do something on Monday, but when we were originally planning this out, we thought we may have a partner that was going to do something really fun on Tuesday. Otherwise, we probably would have started it Wednesday. And if you're a moviegoer, typically in the industry, premieres are on Thursday night. So, the week for movie theaters really starts Friday. So it's kind of like backwards. So, but Tuesday, that way we can kind of capture some of the films from the week before, going into the films the week of. We're working really hard on getting some advanced screenings, no promises yet, but there's a lot of exciting stuff going on.
It's going to be a week.
Yeah, and you're going to be planning some events.
It's the best thing is to bring the movies to life and get everyone back into the theaters across the country. And I'm so excited jumping on board with all of you and seeing the excitement from all of the exhibitors. And they just said, well, what else can we do during this week? And how, we're going to drive people to, get some tickets and be involved and create some really great experiences in the lobby and just welcome them all back to the theater and showcase and say, we know you missed it. We missed you. And home.
Yeah. And so I'm going to ask Andrew some tactical things about events because he is like the most experienced event person. But before we go into that, just some simple ways. And I know that most teams are understaffed right now and it's and you may not have a marketing team if you're listening to this and you're an exhibitor. But some of the easy ways to getting the word out there is reaching out to local community partners. So if you're in a town and there's a great bakery down the street, or there's a karate dojo, or there's just someone in your neighborhood that's also local, maybe have a chat with them and see if they want to come activate something in the lobby. Something that's been brought up too is just make sure that you're covered insurance wise. That's like the legality, but even reaching out to like a local car dealership for F9, maybe getting some cool cars to come, or a car show, or calling cosplayers. There's a lot of things that you can do to partner with your local partners who also probably have really been struggling through this time. So get creative and maybe just call up some people that are in your complex or on your street if you're in a main street, and just see if there's anything potentially that you could do together, and then you both work to get the word out on social media or via your email lists. What do you think about that, Andrew?
I think it's fantastic. It is a great way just to bring the community together and, support each other. As you said, we've been through so much, but we're all opening back up. So if it's a restaurant that wants to, everyone loves dinner and a movie. If there's a restaurant who wants to showcase maybe their new summer menu or some cocktail ideas, if they want to do some handouts and drive to that location, what a great way to, even there are a lot of restaurants that even opened up during the past year. And, even just, in my little neighborhood, when I see a local sandwich shop or dessert place open up, it's a great way to just go to your local theater, and you're just meeting your community. And that's who's going to your theater. It's the local community.
Exactly. Yep. I love that. And I love even just like partnering with, there could be like a little cupcake shop or something, and maybe they pass out samples, again, with safety, with COVID, whatever protocols that you need to follow, but after the movie, so it's not hurting your per caps too. So there's just a lot of, I think, fun community aspects to Cinema Week. And I heard someone once say, and I don't know whose quote this was, or even if it's correct, but it was something about like, movie theaters are like the cornerstone that bring traffic into the areas that they're in and into the communities that they're in. So I just think that that's a great way to say, like, thank you back, thank you to them. Like, thank you all for being here and supporting all of our patrons that are coming to the cinema.
Absolutely. I mean, there's not a movie theater in every single neighborhood. So, others are crossing over and, visiting local areas, and they're going to be going into those little, maybe stores and shops and buying some trinkets, or just going into the restaurants. It's just a great way to bring everyone together. And then they even go back.
Yeah, exactly. And the community partner will also probably send people your way, and you'll send people their way. And it's just a great way to really focus on local. And I do think coming out of the pandemic, most people are really going to try and support their local business. I do think that.
Yeah, I know local dealerships love, partnering with cinemas where, if they buy a block of tickets, if you come in and do a test drive, here's a ticket, go to your local movie theater. And, it's just, driving people to the theater. And while they're there, they're going to be buying some popcorn and soda. They got a free ticket. They're going to start spending some other cash while they're on site.
So. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's some good ways to get started. And then also reaching out to your very hyper local radio stations, or we get local like papers here. I'm sure everybody does. It's just for your community, calling them up and just saying, like, we've had a really hard year. We're running this Cinema Week. We're having this special event for this week. Can you write an article? Can you come out, give them maybe a free ticket to come out and watch a movie, but could they write an article, or could they run a spot to help promote your cinema in their local paper or on the local radio station? There are people that are really willing to help right now with those kind of ad buys. I think that they're struggling with some ad buys.
Yeah, and I'm sure even with some of the workers that are in the local movie theaters, they may be local high school kids or college kids, reach out to the local schools and invite them to come to the movies.
Yeah, or even get an article printed in the high school paper.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just trying to think of and I know, I'm sure operations people who are listening to this podcast are like, I do not have time for this, but I would just carve out 2 hours. And I think you can just do some of this simple outreach, or even if you're running errands in the community, just, I work at X cinema and this is coming up. I'm here buying something right now, but just curious, do you want to participate or partner? Or is there something that we can do together? Just in your normal day-to-day running your errands in your community.
Yeah, it's probably, just to reach out to, people that you're emailing normally in
Mhm.
just doing day-to-day business and community outreach and growth. You may just name drop Cinema Week and how do you want to be a part of it? And
Yeah.
just the ideas start to flow.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think social media is a big hitter here, obviously. Like just we at Cinema Week, if you go to our website, we are providing so much content. It is crazy. You can go to cinema-week.com or cinemaweek.com. We're transferring the domain right now, well, this week. And we have content from May 27th or May 24th, excuse me, which is Monday of next week, all the way through to the day after Cinema Week, and a calendar. So literally all you have to do is download the piece of content, copy and paste the copy, and post the image. It's that easy. And I know you may not have time to do that. Maybe there's someone on your team or your staff to do it, but they literally won't have to think about it because all they have to do is just copy and paste. And if that's too much and you don't have enough time, if you follow Cinema Week on any of our social channels, you can just repost our content. So that way it's even easier. Now, the reach isn't as good if you repost content. So organically posting content, you'll get better organic, AKA free reach on those channels. But if you don't have time and you're just trying to get the word out, I think reposting it is also okay. And then if you're a cinema owner or you work in operations and you have a lot of people in your community that follow you on social media, then you post about it on your LinkedIn, post about it on your personal channels, because people want to support you as well as an individual wherever you're working, or if you own a cinema. It's just getting the word out, and social media is just such a great way to do that.
It's really just baffling what a nationwide movement it is, and it's, everyone across the exhibitors, across the states are just so excited to be a part of this. I'm kind of speechless to just really understand how everyone just jumped on board and rallied behind this great industry that, it's so important, and we're talking so much about community. It is about the cinema, but the cinemas are really just such a heartbeat to the community. So it's great to have them back and just really expanding across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, okay, so when people show up to your cinema, you want it to feel special, and everybody's budgets are $0. And that's something we also understand completely. But there are some little things that you can do to make it feel special. Just even having like someone greeting. I mean, what other things can people do? I'm just chatting away. I'm putting Andrew on the spot, but someone at the door saying, "Welcome to Cinema Week," or "Thank you so much for coming to your cinema," insert your cinema name, or introducing the film. Those are very simple ways. And I know it's labor, but to just make it feel special. But Andrew, you are event.
Yeah, there's always that
Amazing.
ticket
You're
taker.
the guru of events. What other little things can people do to help make Cinema Week feel special?
Dig through your marketing closets. I hope you don't hear sirens outside.
It's okay. He's in New York. It's just standard.
Dig through your closets. You can't imagine, there's probably so much stuff in there that you can just, you want to brand yourselves. I'm sure there's step and repeats that are already. Make it special. Whenever I'm putting together an event, I don't always look at it from the corporate level. I look at it from the guest experience, from walking through the door, and actually the word is even getting out even before to promote it and get people to click and buy tickets. But then just coming in the door, like you said, there's going to be a ticket taker. Maybe there's going to be some COVID precautions in place, but let them know that they're there. It's a special night. Create some sort of ambiance. There's, overchanging some of the posters and having some new welcome signs, welcome back at Cinema Week, and letting them feel that, their business is really, really welcomed, and, you're so happy to have them back. And, it really is a thank you to your VIP guests that are just, they're really early adopters. They're coming back to the movies because they just couldn't wait. There's, the branding elements. You have everyone's in a great uniform, but if you have any sort of additional signage throughout, welcome screens in the actual auditoriums, for Cinema Week, I know that we're working with exhibitors. They're coming up with great ideas, whether, to just create these lobby activations, across the board. We're going to have some, if I can speak to it already, I don't want to jump the gun.
No, go ahead. You can.
you know,
There's no secrets on the At the Movies podcast.
in key cities, there's a lot of exhibitors signing up saying that they want to do some special events, and they're just coming up with great ideas, from photo booths in the lobbies, so the guests can then start hashtagging out and promote that, they're back at the theaters and they're so excited, to, some swag that they may want to give out as guests are leaving, just like a nice little parting gift. Like I said, just look in your marketing closet. There's probably something there.
There's definitely some old stuff I'm sure you need to purge.
But it's the movies. Everyone loves a step and repeat and a photo opportunity.
Like a photo booth. What about a photo booth?
It's the simplest thing. Green screens are so easy to pop up. And, then you have a nice little takeaway. And most of the time it's even digital. You don't have to print up the photos anymore. Old school.
Well, and if you don't have the funding to do it, maybe give them a free theater rental at a later date, or something like offering them passes and do a trade. Trade goes really far with movie theaters.
And a lot of vendors, and that vendor may want to come back, especially if it is a photo booth vendor, that they may say, great, if I can come to the movies and invite some of my own guests, then, there's a great in-kind gesture there.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And there are, just like you were saying, signs and things like that. Again, I don't want to keep plugging the content that we made, but there are signs. There's one sheets that can be printed. It's all on the Cinema Week website under exhibitor assets, and you'll have to print it. Hopefully you have a color printer, or you could send it over to FedEx to print, a one sheet, but there are tools in there to help make it a little easier.
And a lot of theaters also have digital signage throughout. That's almost a flip of a switch with a jump, put a little memory stick in, and you have instant skinning of a really special event. And you just create this immersive environment for your guests that are coming through, and they realize, oh, these movies, this total, new look and feel, but, they'll feel so welcome to know that they're at a pretty cool night. And, even before the movie starts, a lot of theaters back in the day, I'll even say it, I've gone to the ArcLight Dome. I saw Avatar there.
I just got chills.
I know.
Like, I'm not even kidding.
Great movie to see on that awesome screen. I
cannot
wait. I'm crossing my fingers that iconic movie palace comes back. But somebody came out and greeted the entire audience. And I said, whoa, this is really incredible.
Yes.
It means a lot, just to thank your audience even before the movie comes on.
Right. Get your most animated, extroverted staff person, or your general manager or a theater manager to just go. I went to ArcLight once. I didn't get to go to the dome, unfortunately. And I was so impressed by that. And it was so simple, but this is the rules of the road. Thank you so much. You're going to see blah, 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 blah. It's this many hours. And thank you for coming during Cinema Week. I mean, it's just such a great way. And we have slides for on screen. We have some 20-second bumpers that people can put on content on screen. And then we are working with studios to have special content from talent that says, thank you for coming during Cinema Week. So those type of programming things are happening and will help to make it feel special. But I also just think in the lobby, in the auditorium, having a human connection is just so important.
Absolutely. I mean, even something as fun as like a raffle, have everyone drop their name in, and whether it's a movie ticket or a combo pack to come back another time. People love free stuff, and they'll just know, a little spin and win is a lot of fun. And it just gets everyone involved, and they just want to, really keep interacting with everybody in the theater environment. It's a gathering place. There is a pretty large dwell time in the lobby just normally. So let's engage them. And even if that certain theaters have liquor licenses and bars, and maybe we can partner with one of our distributors, have a little tasting if there's a new product out, or if it's a new theater with a new liquor license, let people know what's available.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I love that idea of sampling. So back when I worked at Imagine, we partnered with a local brewery called Shorts, which is pretty national now, but they would come out on the weekends sometimes and just sample some of their new beers, and the patrons loved it. Just little testing all the new, it's just a great way to engage. And going back to your giveaway idea, one idea that I love, and if you're having someone introduce a film, maybe every night during cinema week, you tape a couple free popcorns or a free ticket underneath some of the seats, and the person who comes in, might be kind of hard with recliners, maybe you put it in the cup holder, but the person who comes in that introduces the film then also says like, and check under your seat or check in your cup holder for potentially if you won. And then people will be like, oh, and you'll hear them get all excited because they won something special. Or you could do a drawing if you have reserved seating, like E19, you won X, and you have some sort of, like Andrew said, swag or prize pack, or that.
And if you're partnering with a local restaurant, we can put their branding into the pre-show, a little welcome, thank you for coming. And maybe there is a little $25 gift card under a seat. I've done the under the seat thing. They go wild.
Crazy.
If there's an open seat, they start looking all over. It's really a lot of fun. And it's like watching The Price is Right when someone pulls up that envelope and starts waving it.
I mean, even if it's a free small popcorn, like it's just, you literally made somebody's day because they feel like they've won.
And listen, it's been a rough year. If they're investing to come back into the movies and they have that little extra thank you, it really does go a long way. It's fantastic.
It does. It does. That's great. Are we missing anything?
I know we dabbled with even a custom pre-show. We'd love to put that together and help the theaters. Everyone loves trivia. You're sitting there for a while. You always want to, who knows the movies better?
Oh my gosh.
As we're sitting there trying to guess the trivia answers. Some are easy, but some are pretty tough if you haven't stayed up to times.
I'm really bad at remembering people's like actors' names or directors. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just don't memorize them. So I'm not very good at movie trivia, unfortunately.
What movie?
Yeah. I think these tips are really helpful. We will be hosting a marketing roundtable tomorrow, which I'm sure you won't listen to this episode in time, but we'll have another one in June. So go to the Cinema Week website, sign up as an exhibitor. And if you don't have theaters and just want news updates, you can sign up there too and just write 0 through the theaters. So you can get on our email list to know all of the things that we're doing for Cinema Week.
It's going to be exciting.
It's so exciting. Andrew, first time on the podcast. What do you think? Do you think we entertained them a little bit?
I hope so. I think so. They just kind of listened in on a little phone call of ours, I feel.
I know. It's just us on Zoom, just shooting the shit. No, now it's explicit. All right. Andrew, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your time. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to the At the Movies podcast. Please stay tuned because we are going to have some exciting episodes coming up where we're going to be talking to some key people in the industry, including Dolby, where they're going to tell us all about their technology, which I'm actually fascinated to hear, because if you've ever listened to a movie in Dolby Atmos, it is absolutely incredible. They have Dolby Vision now too. And I do just want to give a shout out to everybody. Hold tight to our sponsors. This is the list. Thank you so much to all of these people who are actually making Cinema Week possible. Without them, Cinema Week would not exist. Y'all ready for the list? Here we go. Atom Tickets, Box Office Pro, CES Plus, Christie, Cineonic, Coca-Cola, ComScore, Dolby, Fandango, GDC, International Showtimes, Letterboxd, NCM, Network Advisors, Savantis, Screen Vision, Spotlight, Super 78, which includes Magic Screen and Microsoft Azure, who we'll be doing a very cool demo with, more to come. Theater Toolkit, Vista, Venue Valet, Variety is a media partner. Thank you, Variety. So is Box Office Media, Letterboxd, Celluloid Junkie, and then to Paper Airplane, Torfoot Films, Idea Man Studios, Hearst Digital, 26556 Marketing, and Powster, who's launching a new way to watch trailers and also buy tickets near you, which will be launching during Cinema Week. So if you go to trailered.com, you can check them out. They will also be on our website by next week. So there's so many exciting things going on. There's so many things happening with Cinema Week. And I know that this is the At the Movies podcast, but we're working our butts off on Cinema Week right now. So we are laser focused on making this event awesome for the moviegoer and for exhibitors and for the studios. So thank you again for listening. For now, we are signing off and we will see you at the movies during Cinema Week. Bye.